Hey everybody, welcome back to what I believe is part 4. I actually lost count. I think this is part 4 of this big Machinist tool pick. And this next pile of stuff that I'm going to cover in this video came to 120 bucks. And again, I ended up getting some really good deals here. Let's start with these few items here I've got on the bench. This is a Mitutoyo indicator. This is a model 2416. And this is a thousandths indicator with 1-inch travel, so it's just a regular drop indicator. But it's in great shape and it works perfectly fine. There's a nasty scratch right in the middle there on the face, but still a nice indicator. Got another Indicall. This is for attaching your indicator to the quill on your Bridgeport milling machine. This one is clearly marked Indicall 178. The 178 model means that this is for a 1 7/8 inch diameter quill, which is what you tend to find on the J-head Bridgeports and also on my Wells Index milling machine. But I already have one of these, so I'll be able to pass this on to somebody else, and it's not missing any parts, which is a nice bonus. We've got a little screw pitch gauge, Craftsman branded little one. Another pair of these number 54 Starrett thin item hold downs. In this box right here, it's marked Poland. So this might be Viz, I think is the company that I see a lot of Poland stuff. And this is a nice big Fowler badged, not really a signed bar. I think once it gets to this width here, maybe we can start to call it a signed plate, so to speak. But it's 2 inches wide and it's 5 inches center to center, like most signed bars tend to be, so that the calculations work out correctly. But this is actually pretty nice. I can't even feel that with my fingernail, those little circles that you're seeing on there. So those are really, really light rubs, something spun on there, I guess, at some point. I might keep this for myself. I gotta check and see how I'm fixed for sign bars and whatnot. I kind of like that size on that one there. Well, this is interesting. This is S240z Pin Vices, but what's actually in here is a bunch of clamps. So I think, let's see, you had those S240s earlier, right? All of those S240 pin vices that were missing one, I think that they already had a box. So I don't know, I'll double check that. But I do remember that we found this box that had something else in it. This box is for one pair of 161B Steric Clamps. So that's these right here. I've got quite a few of these parallel clamps now, and now when I've been getting name brand Starrett ones like this, I've been selling them just because they bring good money. They bring a decent price. And then these must be 161As, I'm guessing. Yep, these are 161As. Nice little Steric clamps. Then there was this really early Lufkin radius gauge set sitting there. I don't usually get too much money for these radius gauge sets, and then the fact that it's an old Lufkin one. But I had one of these that was as old as this, and it was in really rough shape. This one's actually in incredibly nice shape, and a lot of the radius gauges still have their original protective paper or plastic on them, which I got a kick out of that. So for a very early Lufkin set, it's in great shape. This is a number 77C, in case anybody was wondering. And then I really shy away from buying surface gauges just because I have so many of them now, and I haven't really been proactive in selling them because they don't bring a ton of money unless there's something really neat and unique. But I couldn't pass these up. They were just too nice and clean. This is a Lufkin 521. Actually, I have a member who collects Lufkin. He's really into Lufkin stuff, so maybe he'll take this off my hands. It's kind of hard to see it, but it does say Lufkin 521 right there. And then there was two more. This is a Starrett. You can tell just by looking at it. And again, like a lot of these Starrett gauges, they're not marked on the base. They're marked on the upright. And sometimes it can be hard to see it. So I don't know if that's going to focus, but it's right there where my finger is on the upright. Starrett. Unlike a lot of the other ones I have, this one's really nice and clean. Pins are a little stuck, but I don't think it would take much to free those up. It's got one of the snugs, which is nice, so it's got a lot going for it. And then this is a kind of neat one here. For one thing, it's big. This is a large surface gauge. This is measuring 4 inches by 3 1/4 inches. I don't know if this knob is original or not. Something tells me that might be a replacement. But what this is this is a big brown and sharp surface gauge, and it's one of the hardened ones. So this is a model 622, and if memory serves me, I think the last time I had one of these big brown and sharps, I actually got some decent money for it. That's actually I thought that looked familiar. That's a Starrett snug right there. So we got a brown and sharp with a Starrett snug, and like I said, I think that knob right there might have been replaced. And we got these V blocks. We got some decent looking clamps here. So we got 2 of these, well actually 3. Alright, 4 of these clamps that look like they're all matching. And then we have 4 of these Starrett V blocks. Now, what's neat about these that he brought to my attention, these are all 278s. But there's a second number stamped on the block down here in the corner. That's almost like a serial number for the block. And the reason why they have that on there is because Starrett sells these blocks, just as regular machine blocks, but then they also sell them in machined matched pairs where they're guaranteed to be within a certain tolerance so that they're perfect matched pairs. And this is a matched pair. They both have that same number 0231 on them, and then the other pair here are both 4571s. So these are 2 matched pairs of number 278 V blocks. And the matched pairs are more valuable than just the regular blocks. If you just have a pair of these and they're not matched, they're not worth as much. And oddly enough, this box is actually the box for that radius gauge set. So how do you like that? Not only is this gauge, Lufkin gauge set, in excellent condition, but I've got the original box for it. That's a hoot to me. I'm easily amused, apparently. All right. Here we have a indicator. All right. And what's written on here is, what's written on this box is 10th dial indicator. So that's what's kind of neat about this indicator. This is a Baker. Not familiar with this brand. I think I may have seen these before. It actually works perfectly fine. But it is a .0001 indicator. So again, kind of like the way I got all excited about that compact indicator, drop indicator that I featured an episode or 2 ago in this same pick. Same thing with this. This is unusual that it's a .0001. The only thing I'm not sure about is exactly what the quality is on something like this, because again, it's a Baker. It says calibration not required. Do not use for product acceptance. Well, what the hell's that supposed to mean? don't use it in your inspection department, well, that kind of makes it suspect. It feels, you know, decent quality, but that doesn't mean anything. So I don't know. I'm sure if I go on like some of the websites like Long Island Indicator, they have a section in there where they talk about all the different manufacturers, and they could probably tell me what the pedigree is of this Baker indicator. You also had a couple of extra backs in here for some reason. Oh, well, there you go. What's that sticker say? Azag Instrument Repair of East Hartford, Connecticut. I wonder if they're still around. Anyways, haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep that one or not. And this was a fairly quick pile to go through. Almost done. Just got a couple of generic 123 blocks. No markings on them as far as manufacturer go. There is a Oopsie right there, small one. They're actually decent shape though. Other than that, decent looking pair of 123 blocks. Then he had these. He just kind of like threw these in. He figured since I was taking all the 123 blocks, I might as well take these. And you know, he said, yeah, these are just, you know, something he ground for use in the shop. But I just wanted to point out the grind on these is so good that they ring. So I thought that was kind of neat. That is not magnetism, that is, they are ringing. It's not residual magnetism. They actually are that well made. Just kind of cool. And I could actually see they look like it looks like they've been lapped or something. I don't know what that pattern is. Anywho, I'll put those with all my extra little parallels and whatnots. And then these 4 items here, the last 4 items, they're 4 123 blocks. And he called these to my attention because he said, yeah, those are 123 blocks, all right, but he said, do you know who makes those? Or I forgot what he said, but he said those are really good. And what they are, they're more, so M-O-O-R-E, more tools, which they make a lot of nice precision stuff. So these 123 blocks supposedly are held to a higher tolerance than a plain old, you know, cheaper pair. But they're clearly marked. They're all clearly marked more tool. So I thought that was kind of neat. I don't see any damage on these. They all seem fine. Alright, so I'm going to call this episode to a close right here, and when we come back in the next episode, we'll do what I believe is the final pile from this pick, this mega pick. So I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If you are, please hit the like button, and if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Take care.